Welcome to AEW Fight Forever Series 1. This is episode 39. We are with Group C today, and I have said before that the C in Group C stands for chaos. And we are about to end the group. We're in the final day of the group, so we'll see how much chaos we get today. We've got Owen, Hart, and Wardlow leading the table on 15 points. Darby, Allin, Eddie Kingston, and Bryan Danielson all on 12. And then Moxley, Hook, and Kenny Omega leading up the rear. In our opening match, we're going to find out if Eddie Kingston can level himself on points with Owen Hart, or if Owen Hart can clinch a spot for a title. If we have an episode where Owen Hart and Wardlow both win, then it'll go to the head-to-head, and one of them will fight for the AEW World title, one of them will fight for the TNT title. Eddie Kingston winning could throw a wrench in everything. Then we have Bryan Danielson taking on Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley's had a horrible tournament so far. His only wins have been against Kenny Omega and Hook, who are both winless. So Danielson has a pretty good shot if he can keep his momentum to go to 5-2. Then we have Kenny Omega and Hook both fighting for their first win of the tournament. We'll find out who picks that up. And then finally in our main event, we have Wardlow taking on Darby Allin. Darby Allin sitting on 12 points at 4-2. Wardlow sitting on 15 at 5-1. So a win for Darby Allin keeps him in the tournament and fighting for gold. Or Wardlow can set himself up to not have to wrestle or anything like that, or wrestle any extra matches on in our first week of episodes. But with a win here. So we're going to jump straight into the action. We're going to find out what happens between Eddie Kingston and Owen Hart.
The following contest is set for one fall.
Man, this should be one hell of a singles match.
Making his way to the ring, Eddie Kingston. And his opponent, Owen Hart.
Eddie Kingston taking on Owen Hart in our first match of the episode. Eddie Kingston has losses so far to Bryan Danielson, Darby Allin. This could be a big feather in his cap if he can pick up the win here, because he would go level on points with Owen Hart and lock himself in for a shot at the TNT title. Obviously, depending on what happens elsewhere, but he'd at least have a shot at a title. Owen Hart needs to fight for the AEW World title. He would need a win here and a Wardlow loss in the main event against Darby Allin. So we'll see if Owen can pick up the win here and at least get himself locked in for a shot at a title, or if Kingston can cause a little bit of chaos here after what's been a great tournament so far for him. And Eddie Kingston beats Owen Hart with an enziguri. Let the chaos begin.
Winner of this match,
Wow.
Eddie Kingston.
I can't believe I was here for this amazing matchup. It was a classic, to say the least, and one people will be talking about for years.
This bout is set for one fall.
This is going to be an exciting match.
Making his way to the ring, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. And his opponent, Moxley.
Now we have some Blackpool Combat Club infighting here with Danielson taking on Jon Moxley. Moxley's only wins have been against the winless Kenny Omega, which is weird to say, and a winless Hook. Meanwhile, Danielson has lost to Owen Hart and Wardlow at this point. So the two top guys on the totem pole going into this episode. Obviously, Owen has been upset, kind of an upset by Eddie Kingston. And so Danielson knows a win here locks him in for a shot at least the TNT title. And with the right result in the main event, could lock him in for, or could give him a shot at the AEW World title as well. Jon Moxley passes out from the pain of that submission, and Bryan Danielson picks up the victory.
American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
What an amazing match we had tonight.
This bout is set for one fall.
If you're like me, fans, you can't wait. What an exciting match this is going to be.
Making his way to the ring, Kenny Omega! And his opponent, he is Hook.
How did we get here? How did we get to a point where Kenny Omega is winless in the final round of this tournament? Hook also winless going into this match. I would never have guessed this from the very beginning, but here we are. I guess in some ways every match on this in this episode is intriguing. We'll see if who can get a W in the or a point in their W column, or some 3 points coming out of this tournament. Maybe they can start something after just being completely disappointing so far. And Hook taps out Kenny Omega. Hook picks up his first win of the tournament. Kenny Omega winless.
He is Hook.
What a match we just saw.
This bout is set for one fall.
All right, fans, here we go. An exciting match standing by.
Making his way to the ring, Wardlow. And his opponent, Darby, Allin.
And on to our main event, we have Wardlow taking on Darby Allin. Wardlow, with a win, locks himself in for a shot at the AEW World title. Darby Allin can cause some chaos if he picks up the win here. We will see where we end up. At this point, Wardlow, sitting at 5-1, has had a really strong tournament. Darby's had a really strong tournament as well. Darby's only losses are to Bryan, Danielson, and Owen Hart thus far. Wardlow's only loss was to Eddie Kingston, which was really early on. So they're both on, a pretty good track at this point. So we'll see who can get the win and who, if Darby can cause a little bit more chaos, which seems like something that Darby would love, or if Wardlow can lock himself in for a shot at the AEW World title. Darby Allin, the Chaos Merchant, picks up the win, and we're gonna have to talk about this table.
What a match we just witnessed.
All right, so let's take a look at the table. So Owen, Hart, Wardlow, Darby Allin, Eddie Kingston, Bryan Danielson are all 5-2. This is helped by the fact that Jon Moxley only beat Hook and Kenny Omega, and Hook only beat Kenny Omega. So we're in a situation. So the way that we're gonna solve this is on our first episode of Dynamite. Some of these guys are gonna pull double duty, so we're gonna have a 3-way match for one spot to set themselves up to have a chance to be group winner, and then one singles match. The winners of those matches will go on to face each other in the main event of our first Dynamite, where they will battle. The winner will go for the AEW World Title, and the loser of that match will fight for the TNT title. So that is what we're gonna do. It's chaos, totally unexpected, but it's been a wild ride, this Group C. And with all that being said, we move on to our next episode, where everything is locked in, pretty much. So the next episode is just kind of your standard fare, but we'll continue with it anyway. We've got Malachi Black taking on Chris Jericho, Adam Cole taking on Christian Cage, Adam Page taking on Miro. Should be an exciting one, and we will see you then.